That's right. That's what I'm Michael.
Michael.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
So you go to Centennial?
Yeah.
Nice. How's that over there?
It's nice. It's tiny.
Tiny.
What up? Michael, nice to meet you.
Connor, I'm a senior at Fort Collins High School.
Yeah, I'm a senior, kind of graduated at Centennial. What did you want to be when you were little?
I always wanted to be like in the military when I was a little kid. That kind of branched off into law enforcement. My dad works at the jail, and I was always around that kind of environment. And then from there, I got really into nature, so then I wanted to be a ranger so I could just hang out in a truck in nature all day and maybe go yell at some fishermen and stuff.
You know, when I was little, I was always like, I don't know, I was a little weird. I'd be like in rocks and, you know, bones and just like out in nature. I like collecting things. I was just kind of interested in fossils and gemstones and stuff like that. I had a whole shelf of it. And I would just see people doing archaeologist stuff. And I always thought it was so cool, like the stuff they dig up. And I always did like a lot of taekwondo when I was younger. And then later in life, I got into some MMA. And
It's actually kind of weird. I did taekwondo too for
Really?
8 years. Yeah.
that's what's up. This next one says, tell us about your high school experience.
So my high school experience was interesting. In middle school, I never really enjoyed school at all, anything academic, but I kind of flipped a switch when I got to high school. Junior year, I actually started taking photos for our school news organization, Spilled Ink. Get out on the football field, take photos whenever I could, and the guys started loving it. And then I started taking photos for baseball, our baseball team last year, and that's when things kind of really kicked off for me. I started branching out to a bunch of different people, networking, finding whatever jobs I could. I do everything now for school sports.
Man, you know, these pictures don't really tell you much. This is my graduation at Centennial High School, and you know, this is actually someone who was a friend of mine, Blake Agnew at Rocky. I ended up meeting him at Front Range Community College, so that was just kind of a cool little run-in. So now I was sending in photos for everything, and just what I got. But man, my high school experience, I was all over the place, to be honest. Went to Rocky, knew some people, but I picked up some bad habits, I'd say, like, you know, prior to there and during there, and ran into like some normal high school trouble. I'm sure other high school students understand. But it eventually led me to Centennial, which, you know, they have this discovery program, which was very introspective and just very guiding, you know what I mean? And made me actually really care about not only school, but more about myself. Really sparked a passion inside of me to take, you know, a little bit more control over my life, you know what I'm saying? And put down some bad habits. I loved it, really. All props to Centennial. I think it's one of the best schools
That's
you can
awesome,
find.
dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that is kind of the same here at Collins. It's the community alone, just like the teachers. I'd say the teachers probably, their main thing is just kids. They don't care like anything else. Their life is, I want to help these people out. And I think that's really great. And I think there needs to be more of that everywhere.
Yeah, big hearts.
Yeah,
seriously.
Big hearts. All right, you ready for the lightning round?
I'm ready.
All right, let's go.
There we go.
Okay, what's your proudest achievement?
I would say like either my girlfriend or like maybe my high school ending.
Okay. What's the most memorable school event you attended?
I can't even remember. Man, I'm pretty sure we had like some people play basketball, you know what I'm saying? Like at Rocky, and it was like teacher versus student or something. It was kind of crazy, I guess.
Okay. What's one thing you'll miss about high school?
The amount of people my age around me all the time.
Okay.
All right, 30 seconds. What's one thing you learned outside the classroom?
Patience with people.
What was your favorite teacher and why?
Miss Colwell, she was great. She taught me so many things as a person and in videography, photography, journalism.
What's the most memorable school event you attended?
When we held regionals for baseball last year, it was great. We had so many people come. And
That's
it was awesome. Great environment.
All right, last one. What's one piece of advice you give to these incoming freshmen?
Network and be attentive in class.
That's good. All right. Who has impacted and supported you the most throughout your high school journey?
I would say my family, number one. But as far as people directly supporting me in class, Miss Colwell, my journalism teacher, she actually had her all of last year for classes, and she helped me out so much. She kind of actually helped me get to where I'm at today, where I have my own business. I'm able to do so much more with her. I was actually kind of a quiet kid. I didn't like talking very much. And then through the work in class and just having somebody to help and support me, I was able to interview people more often and kind of gain my own voice. So it's been great.
That's awesome. Seriously. Man, I'd say like my grandparents and my family and my girlfriend, really. They just all were there for me and supported me. And like you heard before, it wasn't the easiest journey for me, so I needed someone there to pick me up when I'm down and everything, have good times with, and just support, you know what I mean? So they all would just help me out with everything.
That was awesome. Are you ready for what's next after high school, and what are your plans?
I mean, like, in my opinion, who really knows what that means, you know what I'm saying? What's actually next?
Yeah.
So basically, this is a picture here underneath the church that I attend. There's a food bank and everything. Both of those things are really important to me, right? But like I was saying before, it's a crazy world, and I really empathize with anyone who's out there, like kind of where the world is unfair to them. I really assume the best about people who have rough situations, and it's just really unfair, and it always is important to look out for people as if they're you. You know what I'm saying? Golden rule kind of thing.
So I am enrolled in the Ascent program to go to Front Range right now. There's kind of a 50-50 if we'll get funding. But I plan to go to Front Range anyway, go get my business degree there. And then I have, like I said earlier, I have my business for media stuff. So I'll hopefully build that up. I just want to go full bore into photography, videography. This is kind of how I got started. I went on a school trip to Costa Rica and Panama. And all those photos were taken with my grandma's old Motorola phone and edited on Instagram. And that's kind of how I got my passion.
Beautiful.
So hopefully building up my business means getting more clientele, but also like upgrading my equipment too. So,
what advice do you have for me?
Honestly, one of my biggest things through my entire high school journey is networking. I've talked about it a little bit, but knowing people who know people gets you a very long way.
You need connections.
You do.
Not trying to do anything alone out here.
No.
That's not the way to get it done.
Help is 100% the way to go.
I say from what I've got from you, it seemed like you kind of got your head on right, you know what I'm saying? So I probably already know this, but just like having patience and trust that like you'll be rewarded for what you do, you know what I'm saying? If you try hard and you keep trying hard, you're doing the connections, you're a good person, then these things will eventually like just kind of happen for you, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It was nice meeting you, dude. Thank you for taking the time to talk with me. I appreciate it.
And what crazy connections.
I know,
Videography, right? ATA, like that's
dude,
crazy.
Maybe I saw you and I just never.
Nah, probably not.
Just
Did you get the black belt?
I did. I got second.